Hey everyone, thanks for checking out today's episode. I'm JP and this is Good Talk HQ. As always, we're going to try to save some money together as we search through the best deals that you can find on the eShop right now. Thank you to our extended family. Welcome back, my friends. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel to join our awesome community of game enthusiasts and deal seekers. We release at least 3 or 4 videos a week, so make sure to ring that bell to ensure you don't miss any awesome deals. Either way though, we appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us today. Please enjoy the video. Alright, we'll start off today's list with the TakeOver. This is a co-op beat 'em up that should last roughly 3 or 4 hours. The game captures the essence of the classics from the 90s and modernizes them enough for today's generation to enjoy it. The game has amazing controls and runs great on the Switch. Fans of the Streets of Rage series will feel right at home here, as the game is just as worthy of your time and usually comes in at a lower cost for entry. My favorite part about the game were the bonus stages, which were basically just callbacks to the Genesis era. If you're looking for a great beat 'em up at an affordable price, be sure to check out the TakeOver before October 7th. It's on sale for just $5.99, marked down 70%. That's Gambit, the Afterlife edition. This is a single-player action RPG with some platforming thrown in for good measure. The game features an expansive world with more than 20 beautifully crafted levels, intense boss battles, multiple difficulty levels, and alternate endings. Now this is a true Metroidvania featuring non-linear exploration, where you have to unlock movement and combat upgrades in order to progress through the game. In this edition, we also get 10 new levels, 30 new weapons, and 5 new boss battles, making it a great value and a perfect way for fans of the original to revisit the game or even see some new stuff. If you're a fan of tough Metroidvanias with loads of content, make sure to check out Death's Gambit, the Afterlife edition before October 7th. It's marked down 10% to just $17.99. Viviette is a single-player adventure-style puzzle game from DYA Games and offers roughly 4 hours of main story gameplay. In this one, players will explore a huge haunted mansion and try to uncover the horrific secrets that it hides. You have to use your brain for this one, as it's all about puzzle solving and exploration. Now be forewarned, this game does not hold your hand at all, and in fact it doesn't even have a map. It's just you and your trusty lamp. Oh, but you'll also want to be careful how and when you decide to use the lamp, as you'll constantly be hunted by the monster. It can appear anywhere and at any time, forcing you to flee. Fans of explorative horror experiences should definitely consider checking this one out before the sale ends on October 8th. It's marked down to just $5.99, which is 40% off. Undertale, which is the world-famous indie phenomenon from developer Toby Fox. With the announcement of the free update to include both chapters of Deltarune, now is the perfect time to drop the price of the original game and allow more people to jump into this amazingly epic adventure. Now this is a single-player RPG with some mini bullet hell style combat scenarios. The NPCs are ridiculous and the game has some of the most unique mechanics in any game so far. We'll play as a young girl who has fallen into the underworld and we have to work our way back to the surface. I have to mention the music in the game is absolutely amazing and does a great job of complementing the gameplay. If you still haven't played Undertale, please grab it up before October 8th. It's marked down 33% to just $9.99. Next up, we have Huntdown. This is a 2D action platformer from Coffee Stain Games and is available for 1 or 2 players offline, with the main story that will last roughly 6 to 7 hours. The game is set in a distant future where crime has filled the streets and gangs rule as cops hide in fear. Immediately it reminded me of RoboCop. You can hunt down these criminals solo or with a friend in each of the amazing stages, fully inspired by the 80s. The hand-painted pixel art and hand-drawn animations are absolutely gorgeous to look at on the Switch as well. Now, as many of you know, this is one of our personal favorites, and it's been a little bit since it's been on sale, so if you're interested, make sure to check it out before October 4th. It's marked down 50% to just $9.99. 99 Vidas, a pixelated button masher from Cubite Interactive, the wonderful creators of the Visara collection. Now this game offers 4 or 5 hours of main story gameplay, but like with many beat 'em ups, there's plenty of replayability here to keep you coming back for more. Plus, the game has local and online multiplayer modes as well. The game features 11 playable characters, multiple game modes, epic boss battles with different endings, as well as tons of amazing upgrades to find. There's a lot on offer here while on sale until October 1st, marked down 80% to just $1.99. Please be sure to check it out. We have Sine Mora EX. This is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up for 1 or 2 players in local co-op from publisher THQ Nordic and offers roughly 5 to 6 hours of main story gameplay. Now this is a remaster of a beloved game and features a unique gameplay mechanic in that instead of normal health meters or hit points, instead you have a timer and each hit can affect this timer, making it tick down faster and adding to the pressure to complete the mission. Mistakes can tend to compound on one another with this type of gameplay and I love it. The game also features over 50 weapon combinations for use in each of the stages and even has an arcade mode for classic fans of the series. If you're interested in Sine Mora EX, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on October 4th. It's marked down 80% to just $5.99. Fight and Rage is an arcade-style fighter from Blitwork Studios and offers a main story that can last anywhere from 20 to more than 200 hours to beat depending on how much you want to complete. The game features several endings, an awesome combo system, loads of unlockables including costumes, characters, and even unlockable enemies. One of the most unique features in the game though is the local co-op for up to 3 players at one time. There are even some challenge stages and modes designed for the most hardcore gamers. If you're interested in jumping into this harsh world controlled by mutants where humans fight for survival, be sure to check it out before October 4th. It's currently marked down 50% to just $9.99. Mighty Gunvolt Burst. This is a single-player 2D action platformer again from NT Creates and offers a story that will last around 6 to 8 hours. Now this is a merge of 2 great games, the original Mighty Gunvolt and Mighty No. 9. It features fully revamped and updated game mechanics, deeper character customization, along with the all-new burst combo system, which rewards players for finishing off enemies and bosses up close and personal. The pixel graphics have also been merged to create this unique blend of 8 and 16-bit, resulting in a really cool look here on the Switch. If you're a fan of the golden age of 2D action games, please check out Mighty Gunvolt Burst before October 4th. It's marked down 60% to just $3.99. Haunted Halloween 86 is the perfect game for this time of year. It's a single-player 8-bit platforming beat-em-up developed by Retrotainment Games and it was originally an NES homebrew game. The main story should take around 4 or 5 hours to finish up, and it centers around 2 children from a town called Possum Hollow. They wander off into a seemingly abandoned farmhouse on Halloween night, only the house isn't empty and the 2 children find themselves trapped in a nightmarish dungeon. So the goal of course will be to break out and find your way back home. The game offers 7 unique levels and a great combat system with an awesome soundtrack. Fans of beat 'em ups or old school NES style games should definitely pick this one up before October 4th. It's marked down 70% to just $2.99. The Persistence, which is a single-player first-person horror experience from Firesprite Games and offers players a procedurally generated space station to explore. The crew have been mutated into horrific creatures with a taste for blood. Players will have to dive deep into the space colony in order to repair the ship and get it operational again. You'll find cool weapon upgrades, areas where you can alter your DNA in order to improve your health and defenses. But one really cool feature in the game is that you can have a second player connect via a tablet or phone, and they can control the ship's computer system in order to aid the player through the maze-like spaceship. If you're looking for a good horror experience here on the Switch, be sure to check out The Persistence before the sale ends on October 4th. It's marked down 80% to just $5.99. Riddled Corpses EX. This is an arcade-style twin-stick shooter for 1 or 2 players in local co-op, and it features multiple game modes, including a story mode, which in itself has about 4 hours of content, and an arcade mode, which is all-out mayhem. There are 6 playable characters, all with unique stats and abilities, upgrades and unlockables, and online leaderboards. There's even a demo on the eSHOP for folks that are not quite sure yet and still need a little more convincing. I've had a lot of fun with it, and if you're a fan of games like Galaxy Champions TV, you'll probably enjoy this one as well. Riddled Corpses EX is on sale until October 4th, marked down 80% to just $1.99. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. This is a single-player 2D action platformer from NT Creates and offers players roughly 5 to 10 hours of main story gameplay. Players will have to explore dark lands and slay tons of demons in pursuit of the most powerful demon who is lurking inside of a dark castle. The game allows us to play as multiple different characters along the way. Each of them are unique enough to keep the game feeling fresh and fun. Now depending on the party you create, it'll actually affect the story and the ending as well. Both games are currently on sale and offer amazing retro gameplay, but if you're interested in the first title, it's on sale until October 4th, marked down 50% to just $4.99. Blaster Master 02 is another single-player action platformer, again from NT Creates, and again offers players around 10 hours of gameplay. Now these games are hybrids of side-scrolling and top-down action, and this time around the story is even bigger than before. Shortly after the events of the first game, Jason and Eve set out on another adventure into the depths of space, and this time armed with their brand new battle tank. There are new abilities and upgrades, and of course the classic Master Blaster gameplay that fans have come to expect. Now I will say you should play the first one before this one, as the story does heavily rely on you knowing the events of the first one. But they're both on sale, which is good news. Both titles are on sale until October 4th, marked down half price to just $4.99. The Messenger. This is a single-player action platformer, again from Devolver Digital, and offers players a main story that will last roughly 10 to 15 hours. Now this game features dynamic, acrobatic gameplay and amazingly tight controls. Along the way you'll find cool upgrades and new abilities that you can unlock, hidden levels with a story that has branching paths as well. Now speaking of the story, it's a tale of redemption and survival as you'll be fighting to save your home village from invasion. The game starts with an 8-bit look and switches to 16-bit, which was so cool to see for the first time. This is another one of our personal favorites, and I highly recommend you check it out before the sale ends on October 4th. It's marked down 60% to just $7.99, which is a new all-time low. Next we have My Friend Pedro. This is a single player 2D platform shooter, again from Devolver Digital, this time with the main story that will last roughly 6 to 7 hours. Now this is a violent game all about friendship, imagination, and one man's struggle to do the evil bidding of a talking banana. It requires strategic use of the mechanics such as split-stick aiming and the slow motion ability. The game gives players a true sense of connection to the character, and you have amazing control with both hands and your body as you twist and turn through the air, unleashing a wall of bullets towards your enemies. Now this is another fan favorite whenever it's on sale, so be sure to check it out before October 4th. It's currently at an all-time low of just $7.99, marked down 60%. Astray. This is a single-player 2D adventure game from publisher Riot Games and offers roughly 5 to 10 hours of main story gameplay. Now this is a side-scrolling pixel art action platformer with some smooth animations and an immersive soundtrack. I can't say it enough how much we love games like this at the channel. You have unique mechanics such as sticking to walls and objects, which can make traversing the sinister levels a great time. Now this game does require some patience and smart thinking as you plan your way through each stage. I adored my time with Astray, and I think you will too. If you're interested, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on October 1st. It's marked down 50% to just $7.49. Evoland is back on sale, and it's a package of 2 amazing single-player adventure RPGs from Shiro Games and will take players more than 20 hours to finish up. Now Evoland is a journey through the history of action-adventure RPGs, allowing players to unlock new gameplay systems and graphical upgrades as we progress through the story. You start off with basic gameplay and graphics, and it evolves as we move through the game until we're in fully 3D rendered worlds with 3D characters and improved mechanics. Part 2 expands upon the systems and adds time travel. This is a great value and one of the most requested games, so be sure to grab it up before October 14th. It's marked down 75% to just $4.99. The Count Lucanor is an extremely dark, single-player retro-style 2D adventure game with a top-down view and a main story that will last around 3 or 4 hours depending on how many puzzles you find and solve. This is an immersive tale of a young boy named Hans who is eager to set out on his first big adventure. It's not long though before the adventure turns into a nightmare and things become more and more horrific as time goes on. This is one of my favorite games, however it is definitely not kid friendly, so parents keep that in mind when making your decisions. With all that said, if you're looking to get it, it's on sale until October 11th, marked down 80% for just $2.99. Next up we have Mark of the Ninja, a single-player 2D platformer from Clay Entertainment, the same folks that brought us the survival game Don't Starve, and can take over 15 hours to finish up. The game features amazing controls, smooth animations, and a great soundtrack. And while the story does lack a bit, the gameplay more than makes up for it. The kills are brutal and the gameplay is engaging. I really like the simple yet satisfying stealth system that's in place. It's one of the best implementations that I've played. Now one really neat feature are the assassinations that you can pull off if you sneak up on somebody by just pressing a single button. Make sure to grab up Mark of the Ninja. It's marked down 75% to just $4.99 until October 4th. Next we have Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight. This is a single-player 2D action platformer with a somber atmosphere and compelling story. We play as a young priestess as she seeks an audience with the queen, the only person that can lift the curse plaguing the land. The game features gorgeous pixel art graphics, smooth animation, and an amazing soundtrack. You can even customize items to optimize them for maximum damage, which will come in handy when facing off against the epic boss battles later in the game. Now, this one is pretty tough, so be forewarned, it could cause some major rage injuries. But if you're interested in exploring this tough but fair platformer, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on October 4th. It's marked down half price to just $7.49. Enter the Gungeon is a twin-stick shooter from Devolver Digital and is available for 1 or 2 players in local co-op with a main story that will last more than 50 hours. Now again, this is one of my personal favorites and a great value, as I always say, even at full price. It's a bullet hell style dungeon crawler featuring some of the toughest boss battles and stages in the genre. The pixel art and sound effects they used are amazing, and the music gets you pumped up to just keep going. Now this is one of those tough but rewarding style games that gets really addictive and can give you that feeling of just one more run, I know I can do it next time. You have weapon upgrades, secrets, epic boss battles, and like I said, some of the most fun gameplay in the genre. Please make sure to check it out before the sale ends on October 4th. It's marked down half price to just $7.49. Next we have Furi. This is a single player fast-paced sword fighter fused with twin-stick shooter that does a great job of combining the two genres. In Furi, you've been captured and must fight your way through the one-on-one battles as you make your way to the jailer in order to earn your freedom. Now this is basically a boss rush style game and they all look amazing. The adrenaline definitely gets pumping during this one, so be warned, it's a challenging game for sure. With all that said, and even though it's a boss rush style game, the story doesn't suffer and it was fantastic, and it does a wonderful job of keeping you engaged and wanting more. So if you've been on the fence about this one, make sure to check it out again before the sale ends on October 4th. It's marked down 65% to just $6.99, well worth checking out for sure. up Elli. This is a single-player 3D puzzle platformer with a top-down view from publisher Banana Kid and will take roughly 6 to 7 hours to complete. Fans of modern 3D platformers may find some fun with this little adventure, featuring a likable protagonist and some cleverly designed puzzles for the player to solve along the way. Now, while you can definitely tell this was made by a small team, the actual gameplay is solid and offers great platforming experiences with solid controls and beautiful scenery. The design of the levels and the puzzles work so well together, and it features a simple control scheme which is great for both kids and adults alike. If this one looks interesting to you, make sure to check it out before October 15th. It's marked down 50% to just $3.99. Next up, we have Superbrothers Sword and Sorcery. This is a single-player retro-style action RPG from Capybara Games and will take roughly 4 or 5 hours to complete. Now, this is an exploratory game with an emphasis on the audio-visual style where players will guide a warrior monk on a laid-back adventure through the wilderness. Armed with your trusty sword to do battle and your wit to solve the various musical puzzles that you'll find along the way, you'll help this young woman complete her mission. Now, this version features improved graphics and sound as well. If you like peaceful adventures where the soundtrack can take over your emotion, make sure to check this one out. It's on sale until October 4th, marked down 80% to just $1.99. Next up, let's take a look at Dogurai, which is one of the more challenging and unassuming 2D platformers on the Switch. This one comes to us once again from Cubite Interactive, and again offers around 4 hours of main story gameplay. In Dogurai, we take over the role of Bones, who's a samurai pup with a wide variety of melee and special attacks at our fingertips. You can jump, double jump, dash, perform special attacks, but perhaps the most satisfying ability is you can slice bullets in true samurai fashion. Players will make their way through 8 challenging stages that change up style enough to keep you from getting bored, and you'll face off against powerful enemies with even more brutally powerful bosses. Also, if you're not a fan of the multiple different shades of green, you can actually change that in the options menu. If you're interested in Dogurai though, make sure to grab it up before October 1st. It's marked down 60%, again to just $1.99. Anyone else like me who grew up during the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo era will surely remember Smash TV. Well, Galaxy Champions TV is the spiritual successor to said game, and it's fantastic here on the Switch. Now, the game's main story should only last 3 or 4 hours, however with the level of difficulty and the replayability, you'll likely get a lot more time out of that before you move on to something else. The game is available for 1 or 2 players in local co-op and features brutal, fast-paced run-and-gun gameplay, more than 40 unlockable upgrades, several amazing weapons to choose from, and some awesome boss fights. In fact, the only goal of the game is to see how long you can survive. If you like these intense Bulletstorm style games, be sure to grab up Galaxy Champions TV before the sale ends on September 30th. It's marked down 72% to just $1.99. Are you ready to face the fears that haunt your dreams? Well, Reknum Cheri Dreamland asks you to do just that to save the kingdom in this amazing single-player 2D retro adventure that should last roughly 4 to 6 hours. The game is brought to us by Nape Games and puts a heavy emphasis on action, exploration, and the fantastic platforming in this latest installment of the Reknum saga. Players will explore thematic levels, unlock cool weapons and upgrades, and fight some fearsome bosses as you work to decipher the cryptic messages that were left behind by your ancestors. Now, this game has a gorgeous retro monochrome aesthetic and a catchy soundtrack as well. If you're interested in exploring this dark dream world, make sure to check out Reknum Cheri Dreamland before the sale ends on October 6th. It's marked down 72% to just $1.99. Death Tales is a dark and whimsical 2D action platformer from Arcade Distillery, offering roughly 5 hours of main story gameplay. Now, the game is available for 1 or 2 players in local co-op, and players will embark on an adventure to collect equipment and spells, learn powerful attacks, and fight off hordes of enemies. The game features more than 25 amazing levels that have been designed beautifully. There's loads of side quests and even a shop that changes daily, where you can spend these souls that you collect along the way. Speaking of daily changes, there's actually a daily bounty system as well, which will allow you to hunt down some amazing bosses. Now, as I mentioned, the entire game can be played solo, but you can also team up for some 2-player action as well. If you're interested in Death Tales, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on October 9th. It's marked down 80% to just $1.99. Infinite Beyond the Mind is another 2D action platformer, this time from Blowfish Studios, and once again offers co-op action for 2 players. Now again, the game will only last 3 or 4 hours, but at its current price, it's a solid value. Players will take on an evil queen and her army as she works towards world domination. You can play as either of the 2 protagonists, or as both if you have a second player, as you take on a wide variety of epic bosses and baddies. Now, this game is all about the lightning quick reflexes, and your agility is your key to survival. So it may take a little bit to master the moveset, but when you do, you'll get it down and you'll be moving non-stop and mowing down the bad guys in the process. So if you feel up to the challenge, be sure to check out Infinite Beyond the Mind before October 6th. It's marked down 80% to just $1.99. Alright Shmup fans, we have a great party style space shooter on sale this week, Last Encounter. This one comes to us from Celestia Games and offers hours and hours of fun for up to 4 players in local co-op. Now this game features a procedurally generated galaxy to explore, unlockable pilot ships and weapon components which you can use to create your own Frankenstein-style weapon, combining the most powerful parts. This mechanic is amazing and makes for some interesting trial and error type scenarios as you try to find the best combinations that'll do the most damage. The main highlight for me though were the boss battles, especially with more than one player they can become quite intense. Last Encounter is on sale until October 11th, so be sure to check it out as it's currently marked down 87% to just $1.99. State of Mind is an amazing single-player narrative-driven adventure game set in a dystopian future where machines have risen to power and are colonizing the Earth. This sci-fi thriller features an amazing cast of playable characters and NPCs, some beautifully crafted worlds combining realistic environments with low-poly characters, and the game should last roughly 10 to 12 hours, making it one of the longer games on the list. We start off as a young journalist named Richard, but along the way we'll play as 5 additional characters that we bounce between, giving unique perspectives to the world and the events that are unfolding. Now I have to say the puzzles are perhaps a bit too easy, but the story is worth experiencing, and especially if it will cost less than $2. If you've been thinking about checking this one out, please do so before the sale ends on September 30th, as it's currently marked down to just $1.99, which is 90% off and matches its all-time low. Darksiders Genesis. This is a continuation of the Darksiders story, and this time they opted for an isometric view rather than the standard over-the-shoulder look. Plus they added multiplayer as well. Now you'll be able to play solo or with 2 players in both online and offline modes. The game offers more than 20 hours of gameplay, and the story introduces us to the final horseman, Strife. The story sees players battling their way through hell and back with guns blazing and swords swinging. Darksiders is one of the best franchises, and the whole series is on sale, so please be sure to check it out. Now if you want Genesis, it's on sale until September 30th, marked down 55% to just $17.49. Grizz is a single-player action-adventure style platformer from Devolver Digital and offers a main story that should last roughly 4 to 6 hours. Now this is a serene and evocative experience, free of danger, frustration, or death. Players will have to explore a world brought to life with delicate art, detailed animations, and an original soundtrack. There are environmental puzzles, platforming, and optional skill-based challenges to overcome as you work your way to navigate through the emotions of the young female protagonist. The game is gorgeous and emotional and highly recommended at the sale price, so if you're interested, be sure to grab it up before the sale ends on October 4th. It's marked down 60% to just $6.79. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 is an action platformer and offers players between 10 and 20 hours of awesome gameplay. It brings classic 2D action and a dark 8-bit aesthetic together with modern gameplay mechanics, making for an amazing game here on the Switch. We again must battle our way through the multi-scenario style story as we form a group of warriors to battle through the waves of demons on our way to meet their maker. Curse of the Moon 2 added 3 new playable characters, and the best part, you can play with a friend in 2-player local co-op, which is a first for the series. So I would say keep that in mind when considering this or the first title, which is also on sale. If you're interested in Curse 2 though, it's on sale until October 4th, marked down 40% to just $8.99. Houstoria is a new release available for pre-order, and luckily I was able to get a code early so I could check it out. This is a puzzle platform game with a disturbingly harsh atmosphere where the universe has fallen under the curse of an ancient plant-based cosmic being. Players will traverse and explore this beautifully hand-drawn world in an attempt to take over and destroy this ancient entity. One really cool ability is that you have a magical thumbtack that you can use to pin and unpin various objects in place in order to solve puzzles and then progress. The game even has some collectibles to add a little bit more to do while you're playing. Thank you to Red Deer Games for providing me with the code, and if you're interested in pre-ordering, it comes out on the 24th. The sale though runs until October 8th, it's marked down 35% to just $8.44. Alright folks, today's episode we have a special guest, Little Man himself, Peyton Let's Plays. Hey Little Man, what's your pick for the week?
Hey Dad, hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. My pick for the week is Dadish 2. It's a charming 2D platformer for 1 player, and it will last about 3 or 4 hours. The game has 50 cool levels and 5 epic bosses. You play as a radish dad searching for his missing kids. When you find them, they always have something silly to say. The best part though is sometimes you get to ride a hamburger. Dadish 2 is on sale until October 11th, marked down to just $1.99.
Alright everyone, that's going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. We truly appreciate your time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If this was your first time, like I said, please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, join our family. We're over 3,300 now and growing. And remember, we do our eShop gift card giveaways once a month. All you have to do is be sub to the channel, drop a like on the video, and leave me a comment on any of the eShop sales videos throughout the month so I can find your name and put you on the list. Either way though, thanks again for watching. Please stay safe out there and enjoy your weekend. We'll let Little Man take us home as always.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!